the 17th of July, 1902, the first modern electrical air conditioning unit began working in America. Willis Carrier, a graduate of Cornell University, New York, invented it. While Willis Carrier was working at Buffalo Forge Company in New York, he was experimenting with air conditioning as a way to improve manufacturing process control for a publishing company's printing plant, when he realized that his invention was not only controlling the temperature but also the humidity. Carrier therefore used his knowledge of heating objects with steam and reversed the process. It became a welcome development for the workplace as its application increased productivity. In 1906, Stuart W. Kramer coined the name air conditioning when he was exploring ways to add moisture to the air in his textile mill. Willis Carrier adopted the name air conditioning and incorporated it to his company, the Carrier Air Conditioning. With time, there was an increase in demand for air conditioners in offices. In 1933, a private home in Chapel Hill in North Carolina became the first private home to have an air conditioner. And by the 1950s, this invention came into very high demand for residential purposes.
Welcome back. We just saw there the history of the air conditioner. And Tunbosun, just imagine if the air conditioner had not been invented. What would we be doing?
Ivan, I should ask somebody like you because you're always sweating. You're always sweating.
Because it's quite amazing. Like almost everything now has an aircon.
Exactly.
Houses, offices, cars.
Exactly.
Apart from bicycles.
Apart from
tricycles.
No, those ones they have fresh air.
Oh, fresh.
It's not. That one is natural air.
Natural. Nothing beats it.
Nothing beats it. Especially when PhD and they are showing you. Okay. I did not say that one. No. Anyway, welcome back to New Day, the voice of the new generation. Yeah. And this is the Business Intelligence segment. On the Business Intelligence segment today, we'll be talking about acquiring skills acquisition. Yes, we're all entrepreneurs, quote and unquote.
Oh, yes.
But I know that sometimes what differentiates this person from another person is actually the skill. So what are those skills and how can we improve on them? We'll be speaking with Mr. Jaiyeola David. He's an event manager and he's also into HR and things like that. So it's good to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Okay, now event manager. Nice to have you once again. Yeah. So I mean, if I ask you the question straight away, an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Is an entrepreneur born or nurtured?
Well, I wouldn't give you a yes or a no to that question because how do I put it? Some people want to do business. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want to build a career. But if you look at it generally, we're both working towards something. Yeah. We're building something. So I might be working for somebody, a company, but look at it, I'm working for myself in it. Yeah. Because whatever project or whatever achievements that I get to do during my stay with them, it belongs to me. Even though the company is credited, but it will go a long way in building my path, my career. So I'm working for myself. So we are all entrepreneurs in a way because the whole essence of being an entrepreneur is to be able to build something, that we can fall back on and something that can fend for you. So that's what you do when you go to work, actually. Even though you're making money for somebody else there. But still, you're doing that because you're living on that thing you're doing as a job. So basically, I would say more of nurtured than born. Yeah.
Okay. So, what skills need to be acquired, for those guys for those entrepreneurs who are nurtured, what skills do they have to acquire on the way to building something like that?
All right, something just crossed my mind when you're talking about what skills an entrepreneur needs to nurture. If you go on social media recently and you try to per se recruit people or employ them, you find that everybody is a CEO of you know, this company, CEO of that one. You're like, okay, how do we classify everybody as this one is CEO of this one is CEO of that? But so now, thing is this: everybody wants to build something that they can fall back on, which is quite good. So when it comes to skills, I tell people that I know that, see, if you are building a business, there's some things you need to identify. You know, one is this: I tell them you need to build a structure, in the sense that if your business doesn't have a structure to fall back on, then it will scatter, you know, in a very short while. Reason being, if you are the sole person in the company alone, and the finance of the company is the same as your finance, once you go broke, the company goes broke. Basically, so a company needs to have a structure. So if as an entrepreneur, one thing you need to be sure of is the structure. And when I mean structure, I talk about bookkeeping in terms of, so if my company is making XYZ amount, it is kept here. Personally, I might be doing some other things. Probably I'm a speaker, or I manage things, or I do some buying and selling. That's me. Or I work a job. My own finance is here. So when I go broke, the company still has money. So the company might actually help me go back to here. So when the company goes broke, I might help the company go back to here. Yeah. So we need to build that. Structure is very key. Another thing I tell people is synergy. There is no one-man island. You don't know everything. You might have the initial idea. Go back to that documentary you played about the woman, the flower. She's had the idea, but she didn't have all the skills needed to ensure that thing runs. So she did what? Established a company, employed people. People have different skills to make something excel. So basically, I would tell them, if you cannot do synergy in terms of, you don't want partners to, share your profit, or, well, it's not just sharing profit, they're sharing your risk. So when the company crashes, it's not just on you.
It's on them.
We can share it, you understand? So if you are willing to go all the way to take all the risk, then you can go alone. But you need some people to go along with you. You might see, these few guys are the ones running, but they have back ends. They have people doing the back end. So structure is key, bookkeeping is key, synergy. I like a lot of partners. So if I'm doing businesses, I like to do, because I don't really like plenty of stress. So okay, let these guys do all the run around and everything. I would think about what we need to do. If it's my own role to find funds, I will find it. But somebody else is doing the move around, because it needs to be done. If not, company might not stabilize.
Okay. So what you're saying in essence is that as an entrepreneur, if you don't have the skill of bookkeeping, accounting,
synergy, there's no structure.
There's no structure.
There's a little chance of you attaining the height of great men.
Yeah, because you're solely tied to it. Even though there are some businesses where the personality mix of the person, the CEO, has a lot to do with the business. But even at that, you still cannot rely on yourself alone. Let me give you a scenario. Photography business. Photographers, you know that most of the work is dependent on the guy taking the pictures. But now, say he gets 150K one event he goes to cover. But when he's trying to become big, he's expanding, he has a studio or something, he needs to employ people to run the studio. He gets 2 or 3 jobs in 1 week. If he's the only person that's still running, what happens to that? That's 300,000 in loss. Because he doesn't have a structure that probably employs other photographers, or is in partnership with other photographers to help. He is the big one already. Some people are looking at you to beat up. So when it's okay, come and work for me, let's do this job. So I do 1, you do 2, you do 3. I'm paid for 50K. I might be paying them 50K because they're interning at the moment. In the long run, I've probably made like 350, 400 for the company, regarding to 150 that I've made personally. So I think people need to learn. Well, they say bigger picture, but I think you need to just look beyond just yourself. When you build a business, the sole aim should not just be on profit making. It should be more than that. You are supposed to be rendering a service. So when service is rendered well, profit making won't be an issue. Because people will pay for your service, they'll pay you more for the service you rendered, not for the product you're buying from. Say, let me give you a sense. Say, if I'm supposed to deliver, say, things to people, and I deliver it, say, a day or 2 before it, when next they come to me, if I increase the price, I can just tell them all sort of things, logistic here and there, this, that. Fine, no problem. Why? Because they know I will still deliver in time. People want that more than what they are buying.
So that means even integrity is also something that would help and things like that. Okay, we'll be coming back to you, but we have to go for this break, and it's going to be on business intelligence. Please stay with us.
wanna be in the know? Tune into the show. It's called New Day, now in your zone. Touching the work and career. Ends up in the play zone. Tailored to entertain, inspired to make you feel at home. And it's all about you. It's all about you. New Day. Voice of a new generation. New Day. Voice of a new generation. It's the New Day. Voice of a new generation. New Day. Voice of a new generation. It's a new day. Success in business cannot simply be celebrated as an event. It is worked and prepared for through a series of planning and operational activities. I'm going to mention 4 key elements you need to get right before you become too dizzy dreaming about the millions and lifestyle that you intend that your business will bring you. I have just read from page 99 of my book, Business Intelligence, Entrepreneurship Development and Business Building Techniques. I'll take the first one, raising of capital and managing of capital. Capital is the broad line of every business. Before you set out in a business or even in expanding an existing business, you need to be sure in your mind how much you need, where you're going to raise the capital from, how you're going to manage it, especially if you are borrowing, how you will also repay. What do you need money for in a business? Everybody knows, whether you are in a production business or a service business, you need money to run and manage not just production and services, but also making sure that you are keeping people who are working with you happy. So, when it comes to capital, key things to look at. Have you developed what I call financial intelligence? It has to do with understanding, knowing, and managing of money. Do you have the right budgets? Are you even sticking with your budgets? Are you working within a business plan? So capital is very important. If perhaps it's not your strong area, I will advise that you look for someone you can bring on board, a coach, a manager, a mentor, somebody that can help you with your finances. Remember, I talked about 4 areas. The first one, in the axis of business success, is capital. I'll talk about the other 3 that make up the axis of business success subsequently.
Okay, we just saw a clip there on skill. So, David, here's the thing. He said, for you to be successful in business, you need to acquire communication skill. You need to be able to produce, to have new products, new inventions, and for you to be able to manage your temperament and emotional skills. These are 3 core important parts of running the business, because you need to manage people. I need to manage the business itself. Now, how do you separate running the business and managing your emotion with the people who you have employed?
Okay. Well, let me come from my own self.
Yeah.
There's a business. You will need people to it, and there are clashes. It happens when we're running the business. Somebody might not have delivered what they're supposed to deliver. Definitely. Things happen in business. So as the owner of a business, you can't afford to unnecessarily go, all out on your people, criticism and all, anger and everything, because it dampens their morale. That means it will affect your own effectiveness as a business person. So you need to watch that personally. So you see, it's like running yourself, making yourself suitable for the business. That's why they'll tell you at some point, it gets to a level where you might not be the one running your business anymore. Probably at a point where you feel, okay, you can hand over to somebody else and watch it grow from behind or whatever. But while you are still there, you need to work on yourself personally. That's why in companies we have HR and we have these that cater to people and, feedback and all. To see you treating them right. Are they, are they enjoying the business? Are they enjoying what they're doing at the business? Is the work environment good? And all those things are factors that people consider. So as a business person, I would tell them, first and foremost, as I mentioned, communication. When you are relating with your people, you will know if you are really on their side or they are just doing, what they call it, eye service. People are just, when he's here, they say hello. When he's on there, they say something bad. So, but as a business person, it's key that you are a people person. People should like you. It doesn't mean you take anyhow business, but people should be able to relate with you freely. So you need to help yourself. You need to build your personality in a sense you can relate to people. Now, communication, from what you said, is more than you just relating with your employees. It's something else, relating with people that buy your product. Now, relating with people that buy your product is about the service delivery, which I mentioned in terms of customer service. How do they perceive your business? Is it that when I order for something, it takes 2 weeks to deliver? When you deliver it, it's bent, it's broken, and I call, nobody's answering. It happens a lot in business. People complain, but how you handle the complaints is very key. If people are really angry, you need to know how to bring them to your level. And explain why it is that way, and whatever you can do to ensure that they are not aggrieved. Sometimes some people know that you cannot replace some things, but it's the approach. If someone's supposed to deliver a product to me and I call and they say they'll get back to, and they keep pushing you, you get angry. You want to cancel the order, but the way they place it is, oh, there's this fault here, we've already shipped it, we'll call the shipping company to be sure that, okay,
sort of pamper you.
Make you feel good. That's it, make you feel good that, okay, we're going to deliver this thing. Give us a bit of time. And they see that, before it gets to you, they already called you. People just call you. It is annoying when you need to get a product from somebody and you are calling and you're not picking the phone. You'll be like, oh my goodness. just answer the phone and tell me it's on the way.
It's on the way.
And I will just keep calm.
Just want to get the feedback. And
let me just know what's up. What's I won't be, imagine it's something very large and I cannot handle personally. And I'm calling you and you are not picking the phone. That's very rude. So if you can't pick the phone, once it rings twice, just send me a text. I'm sorry, I can't pick the phone. I will get back to you as soon as. People need to know that this is why it is happening. But once you don't tell them, it backfires. They might tell you I want a refund and stuff. It's something that has happened. So I'm talking from experience.
Let me ask you, if it's, I want you to give us a scenario. A true life scenario now. A particular entrepreneur that lacked skills, or the really very important skills, and that led to the crash of his business. Okay,
let me paint this picture for you.
Has it happened to you? Somebody you know?
Now, there was a particular questionnaire that I saw at some point. Now, one thing came up top, which is customer relations. People lack that a lot, and that's bad. It kills businesses faster than we know it. If all your clients are complaining, they will move to the next person. Easy. In this, our ever-growing economy, and we know SME runs a lot of things here. So when I need you to deliver product A to me and it's taking forever, even if I'm your friend, I'll still be your friend, but next time I'll just move to the next person. I say, my friend won't deliver in time. I know him, he's a good person, but when it comes to that business, he can't deliver in time. So what do? I go to the next person. I will probably let you know that you won't deliver me. You won't deliver what I want in time. I've tried you before. I'll let you know that it's because you can't deliver in time. And right now I cannot afford that time. I don't have time on my hand, so I need to deliver in so and so day. But I know you can't do it, so I'll move on to the next person. It has happened before. Yes, it has happened, and I don't want to mention anybody's name, but I know, you know, it feels where, you know, some things were ordered and it took a lot of months, and I knew why it happened that way, because I knew the reason, you know, behind the delay. It was beyond the person. It was beyond the person. I knew, but I couldn't help it because, well,
you couldn't deliver.
You can't deliver, but I need the product. Exactly. My God, I'll find somebody else. I knew he's a good person. His business his products are very good. But for that particular one, he couldn't just deliver it. So I just said, okay, don't worry, we'll try another time. But at this point,
and I want to believe that you said goodbye to him in that way. Thereabout, and I want to believe you're not even the only person that probably said goodbye.
Well, I just mentioned my scenario. I don't know. And
if it happens on and on like that,
your business will crash.
Eventually.
It will.
What a sad story. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Jaiyeola David, for being our guest on the Business Intelligence segment. It's been very educative talking to you. That's been our package today on New Day, the voice of the new generation. My name is Tunbosun Gilbert, and Ivan.
Yeah, from us here, have a fantastic day. So we'll come your way again. Stay blessed.
What?